In this video example, we're going to discuss removing scroll bars that can occur in various places in the MetaLocator interface when integrated with a website. In this example, we have the MetaLocator interface deployed to a very simple web page that only has content directly above and directly below the interface for illustrative purposes. We can see that we have one scroll bar here right now, and that's undesirable. That scroll bar was induced by additions to the search form, other aesthetic choices that may kind of increase the size of this iframe. What we'll do in order to eliminate this scroll bar is add a little bit of height to the resulting iframe. Within style and color settings of my interface, the frame added height by default is 100 pixels. In this case, we're going to kick it up to about 150 because it looks like we're missing about, actually maybe a little bit more. We're missing probably about 150 pixels of space, so that will bring us to 250. So I'll save that. And then I'll reload this page once the save completes, and I'll do so while holding down the Shift key, and that will ensure that my browser cache is flushed. Notice now that we don't have a scroll bar off to the right that's within the interface. We do have a scroll bar from the page itself. And so now the scroll bar has been completely eliminated on this page. However, another scroll bar can occur if we click on Details. When we click on Details, we get a large location landing page that can contain a lot of content. Content that's going to be always typically much taller than the amount of space that you may have reserved for your interface. Now, we could address this by simply increasing the frame added height to a value such as 2000 or 3000. However, the downside of that approach is that the content below the interface will be pushed a few thousand pixels down and might leave a kind of awkward white space on your page. Instead, what we want to have happen is for the MetaLocator interface to simply resize within the containing page when the content increases in height. In order to do that, we're going to leverage a library that allows us to auto-size the iframe. The first thing to do is to set Autosize iframe to yes. Set that to yes and choose Save. We're going to reload the page and see if there's any change. In this example, we don't see any change on this page. However, when we go to the Details page, we notice that the scroll bar is missing. And it looks like the system has done something, but maybe it's calculated the height of this frame incorrectly. In order to have the system calculate the height of the iframe correctly, we can choose a different method or algorithm the system will use to determine the resulting page height. Instead of body offset, which is the default, I'm going to change this to max. What that does is iterates through the entire page and tries to find the tallest object. I'll click Save. Again, holding down Shift when I reload the page. And I'll go back to the John Smith detail page. And notice now, after a brief moment, it detected the complete height of this page, and there's no longer a scroll bar cutting off the layout. Max won't work for every page, and body offset might work for some pages. So you may have to play with these different options in order to determine which method works for the type of layout that you have. That concludes the tutorial on eliminating scroll bars in the MetaLocator interface.